Chapter 1 of the Semi-Detached House. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Elizabeth Klett. The Semi-Detached House by Emily Eden. Chapter 1. The only fault of the house is that it is semi-detached. Oh, Aunt Sarah, you don't mean that you expect me to live in a semi-detached house? Why not, my dear, if it suits you in other respects? Why, because I should hate my semi-detachment, or whatever the occupants of the other half of the house may call themselves. They call themselves Hopkinson, continued Aunt Sarah coolly. I knew it, said Blanche triumphantly. I felt certain their name would be either Tomkinson or Hopkinson. I was not sure which, but I thought the chances were in favour of Hop rather than Tom. Aunt Sarah did not smile, but drew the mesh out of her netting and began a fresh row. Go on, Aunt Sarah, said Blanche demurely. I am going on, thank you, my dear, very nicely. I expect to finish this net this week. Blanche looked at her aunt, to ascertain if she looked angry or piqued or affronted, but Aunt Sarah's countenance was totally incapable of any expression but that of imperturbable stolid sense and good humour. She did not care for Blanche's little vivacities. Do you know the Hopkinsons, Aunt Sarah? No, my dear. Nor their history, nor their number, nor their habits? Recollect, Aunt Sarah, they will be under the same roof with your own pet Blanche. I have several pets, my dear, Tray and Poll and your sister, and— Well, but she will be there too, for I suppose the Lees will let Aileen come to me, now that I am to be deserted by Arthur. And Blanche's voice quivered, but she determined to brave it through. Did you see any of the Hopkinsons when you went to look at the house? Yes, they went in at their door just as I went in at yours. The mother, as I suppose, and two daughters, and a little boy. Oh, dear me! A little boy, who will always be throwing stones at the palings and making me jump, daughters who will always be playing Partons pour la série, and the mother— Well, what will she do to offend your Highness? She will be immensely fat, wear mittens, thick, heavy mittens, and contrive to know what I have for dinner every day. There was a silence, another row of netting, and a turn of the mesh, and then Aunt Sarah said in her most composed tone, I often think, my dear, that it is a great pity you are so imaginative, and a still greater pity that you are so fastidious. You would be happier if you were dull and matter-of-fact as I am. Dear Aunt Sarah, don't say that you are dull. There is nobody I like so much to talk to. You bring out such original remarks, such convincing truths, and in a quiet way, so that they do not make the black bruises which les vérités dures generally produce. But am I fastidious and imaginative? Yes, my dear, very painfully so. Now just consider, Blanche. You began this week by throwing yourself into a fever because Arthur was to leave you, on a mission that may be of great future advantage to him. He is to be away only 3 months, and is as much grieved as you are at the separation it involves. You immediately assert that he is going for a year at least, that he is to forget you instantly, and fall in love with any and every other woman he sees. No, only with that woman with the unpronounceable name that he used to dance with. A very dangerous woman, Aunt Sarah. That he is to be smashed in the railroad to Folkestone, drowned off Antwerp, and finally die of a fever at Berlin, and that in the meanwhile you are to have a dead child immediately, twins soon after, a very bad confinement, besides dying of consumption and various other maladies, pursued Aunt Sarah in her steadiest tone. Now if those things are not vain imaginings, Blanche, I do not know what are. They sound plausible, though, and I assure you, aunt, I did not imagine them, they suggested themselves, and they look very like the ordinary facts of life. However, I grant it is a bad—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?